coming up this week on the EMBN Show, we have got a great show lined up for you this week. We are taking a look at some budget bikes with Steve Jones out and about in the Forest of Dean, and also taking a look at possibly the end of all our derailleur and cassette issues that we have on our e-mountain bikes.
Wow, not only that, we'll be taking a look at the lightest e-bike ever.
Whoa.
Not only that, we'll be looking at some news. We've got Where in the World and the Bike Vault. It's all coming up.
Martyn, good to have you back on the show
Good to
once
be
again.
Here, Chris. Good to be here.
Where is that man, Steve Jones?
Well, I was going to ask you the same question. I heard he's out and about. Where is he?
He's out and about in the Forest of Dean, actually, checking out some bikes that people are having a load of fun on for sub £1,000. So let's get out there and check it out.
Folks, we've just been out shooting in the woods in the Forest of Dean and just come across Joe. Now, Joe is from Indonesia, right, Joe?
Well, not originally, from these parts originally, but yeah, I live over there now, yeah.
And what's caught my eye is Joe's been riding this, it's a Caliber, right?
That's right, yeah.
Tell us about the numbers, the weights and measures on it and stuff like that.
So she's a Caliber hardtail, Caliber Kinetic. I believe it was released 2019. But it's a hub drive rather than a mid drive.
250 watts.
250 watts on the back, correct.
Yeah.
It's only a 300, I think it's a 330 watt hour battery on there.
Yeah.
So a little bit limited on the
There's a really nice display on it, isn't there?
Good display, yeah. You've got 5 settings from all the way down here, which is very minimal assistance, all the way up to number 5. And number 5, she's got plenty of poke to get up hills.
Is this your first ride on the bike?
First ride on the bike, it is. It's correct. Yeah, so I just thought I'd go around some blue trails and see how she is. She's not an enduro machine, so I thought I'd take it easy.
But there's a bit of a story with this bike, right?
There is. Yeah, so it's actually my brother, who's my stepbrother, a very good friend of mine. And he's lent me his camper van for 10 days to zoom up to Scotland from Brighton, which is
Where are you going?
Absolutely golden. All the way up to Inverness.
Okay.
Yeah.
You doing Northwest Coast?
Not going to have time, unfortunately.
Oh,
he's going to do it. That's why he's happy to lend me the van.
You've got to go to Torrin. But so you bought this for your brother?
Yeah. So it's an exchange. He lends me the van. It's a very nice van.
Wow, folks,
And,
you need
he gets a bike.
You need to tune into this. You get a free bike if you lend someone your camper van.
Lend me your camper van. I'll get you a bike.
Well, I'll leave Joe's phone number and details down below. But Joe, it's £900. It's a great starter bike, right?
It's a brilliant starter bike. It really gets you out in the woods, and it gets you around. If you're not so fit, it's a brilliant way to get out and get around a little bit. It does the job for gentle trails. I wouldn't go too crazy on it, but it gives people who are new to mountain biking a great experience, isn't it? Precisely that, yeah.
Folks, we've had lots of we've seen the home build kits we've done on the channel with Ray. Now, it goes if you haven't got any electronic knowledge, then I think, Joe, this is a great way to go, isn't it?
It's straight out of the box. It literally comes in a box. You put on the handlebars and you're good to go.
Wow.
Yeah, real quick to charge because it's only a small battery.
Yeah.
And
wow, I mean, that's it, isn't it? That's it. That's bloody great. Wow, I've just had a spin on it. I mean, I was in high power, but it's really impressive. What I like the fact it's got disc brakes, the shape on it's great, the size is great. I mean, why wouldn't you? It is power potent, isn't it? I mean, it's quiet. I mean, it's actually quieter than a lot of 10 grand mountain bikes. Yes. So there you go, folks. Caliber Kinetic. Joe from Indonesia via Brighton, right?
Correct.
On his way to, well, actually, I don't know, where are you going next?
We go up to Inverness, then we fly back down to Brighton. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Joe, have a great time. Thanks for taking your time.
Good to meet you.
You too. Now, another bike we've seen out on the trails in the local trail centre was this. It's the Apollo Phase, and I think this comes from Halfords, and the cost for this bike is £600, but the owner of the bike actually knocked them down to 540 quid for cash, which is a nice touch. So as you can see, it is Shimano equipped. What I want to point out is that a bike like this is actually made for family trails. It's meant for canal paths. It's meant for smooth single track. So, it's not a full-on mountain bike. Nevertheless, it is a fantastic bike for your introduction ride to mountain biking. Explore the woods, explore the hills. It is a great introduction bike. So what have we got? Well, it's a pedal assist bike and it's a hub drive. So the motor's in the front here. It's 250 watts. It's 25 kilometers an hour. It's pedal assist. We can see you've got the very neat battery in the down tube here. I reckon you could even move that into there and you wouldn't even tell it was an e-bike. You get your display up on the handlebars. It's 26-inch wheels. Sizing, there's a range of sizing from small up to extra large, I'm informed. I mean, the fork, you know, it's not amazing, but you know, in many ways, it's probably more of a hindrance than a performance advantage. But there you go, it's there for show. We've got cantilever brakes on it, comfy seat by the looks of it, and yeah, folks, 540 quid to get you moving. I think it's a great starter. Oh boy! Oh wow! That's cool.
Yes, thank you, Steve. Right, next up, we have got this brand new bike. It's the Altitude model from Heritage Bikes over in France. And this one could be a game changer, Chris.
I think it definitely is, isn't it?
It could be, because this thing has got a 130 Newton meter torque motor with, get this, a 7-speed automatic gearbox.
So
that is special.
Definitely.
That is special.
I think it gets rid of, obviously, the cassette and the derailleur off the back wheel, something that we've complained about for a long, long time. Matched up with that 130 Newton meter torque motor, that's one of the strongest motors that we're currently seeing on the market. But you did notice a derailleur on there.
Yeah, you promised me when we were talking about this earlier, it hasn't got a derailleur. I can see one on there, look. It's got one right by the chainring at the front. It's got a derailleur.
That's purely just a tensioner. It's a single speed system, so you've got a single chain running around the whole of the bike. Could be a belt drive, you know, for ultimate.
Make it nicer.
But I think it's pretty good, isn't it? And as I say, that 130 Newton meters is going to blast you up any hill. And also the anti-theft mechanism on this bike is next level too. It's got GPS location on it, so you can log in, find out where your bike is, and you can remotely disable the motor. And you're not only disabling the motor, the assist from it, but you can actually make the gearbox go into neutral. So it'll just pretty much spin the cranks round and not supply any drive whatsoever, meaning you can't actually pedal it anywhere.
No fun for the thieves.
No, exactly.
Love it. It's a very cool bike, very cool.
So the bike is full carbon, it's got that brushed effect on the top tube, that brushed alloy, and kind of like a bit of a motorcycle petrol tank at the front.
Tankage.
Don't know what you think about that. 630 watt-hour battery, 150mm travel with Boss suspension on both ends, and loads of E-specific components on there from Magura, Mavic and Schwalbe. It comes in a range of sizes, weighs 25.3 kilos and costs €9,900, which isn't absolutely crazy seeing it's got all that tech on there from Valeo. I think it is definitely a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, love it. Christopher, quiz time. How light do you think a bike would have to be to come in as the lightest e-bike on the market?
Well, we're seeing a load of lightweight options out there. I mean, that Trek the other day just got released, pretty lightweight, so I'm guessing sub 17 kilos? Sub 15?
Sub 15, you're on the money there. This new bike from Thomas, the Light Rider, this is coming in at 14.6 kilograms.
Whoa,
which is
light.
Unbelievable. It's only 3.5 kilograms heavier than like a normal trail bike.
Well, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the motor on this is actually capable of pumping out 40 Newton meters of torque. So it's not crazy power, but it is a really lightweight unit. And that's running the Maxon air drive motor on it. And battery-wise, this bike comes in with a few different options. 250 watt-hours, 360 watt-hours, and 452 watt-hour battery too. So a few different options on there. If you want that lightweight bike or you want to get a bit more range, you've got a load of different options on there. Full carbon frame, which runs on 29-inch wheels. And it's only got 120 mil travel, so aimed more at cross-country style riding and those big riders too. 3 different battery sizes on there. You've got that lightweight battery, the 250 watt-hour option, 360 watt-hour option, and of course that bigger one, 426 watt-hours, so those big days out. 3 different builds on this bike, XT and XTR builds, and they cost, well, they start at £5,450, so great looking stuff from Thomas.
Nice looking bike. Time for Where in the World, and this week's submission is from Chris, who's out in the lakes. This is some fabulous photography.
It is, isn't it?
I love it, and it looks like, oh, these pictures are telling me so much.
Yeah.
It's such a good day.
Out for a big day out with a couple of friends. Got Specialized Levo SL and Trek Rail out in the Lake District. Enjoying the sunshine, riding up a mountain in the Lake District. I mean, some of these shots, Mark, what do you think about some of these?
Oh, I love it.
Epic backdrops as well, isn't it?
Epic backdrops. It just looks like such a good day out and such a great place to go and use your eBs.
Different weather as well. Got some misty shots, big climbs, loose trails, downhills, blue skies. I actually recognise that trail there. I think I've blasted down that one back in the day for an MBUK shoot, actually.
Yeah, you probably would have trundled. I tell you what, it's great and it's awesome to see. This is a great example of what we want to see for Where in the World.
Definitely.
If you want to send us in your ride, if you've done it somewhere really spectacular, then head to the uploader. It's in the description down below this video. And you can upload those shots and you could be, just like Chris, seeing your amazing images on the show. You can have it next week if you get it right. Hey, Chris, nice T-shirt. Where'd you get that from?
EMBN merch shop, Mark. You need to get in there, kick yourself out.
Yeah, it's got new season casuals out. So head over to the shop. It's a great way to support the channel, helps us make videos, and you can look cool like Chris.
We literally got everything. I was going to say, got so much in there at the minute. Race jerseys, socks, shorts, stickers, hats, you name it. It's in the EMBN merch shop, and the details for that are up on the screen and also down in the description below.
Yet again, I guess the post has let me down, has it?
Yeah, it looks like it. It's got that GMBN stuff. Coming up this week on EMBN, we have got a great week of content as always. What we got on Friday, Mark?
We're starting with the best Fazua-powered bike for you.
Oh, nice. A few different options out there already, isn't there?
Definitely a few these days.
And on Sunday, I go back to the big hill in Shropshire to see if I can finally break 100 kilometers per hour. That was a big, scary day out and very, very fast. And
tried very hard. And then on Monday, we've got things that can fail on your eMTB. So that's a very useful video to be watching. Lots coming up on the channel this week. One of my favourite bits of the week, this is, Chris. Looking at climb of the week, and this one's brilliant. Look at this climb. It looks so steep at the bottom. This is awesome. This is John on his Nox Hybrid in Thailand. He's 60 years old and smashing this climb. Go on. Go on, John, keep going.
Oh, look at that. Power down. It's got even big ruts up there. Looks like motorbikes use it, but he's getting his e-power from that Nox Hybrid, blasting it. Loving that shot.
Isn't that good? I just think that's one of the greatest things about an e-bike is that it makes you explore. And it just asks you to try things. And this is a great example of that. Nice one, John.
60 years old, definitely not holding back there. Love it. And as I say, get involved. Use that uploader service for any videos, pictures, and that's down in the description down below.
Okay, here's some stuff you guys have been saying about our videos this week, and we're starting with, is a bigger battery better?
Sounds like a little rhyme going on.
It is a little rhyme, isn't it? 900 watt-hour batteries versus 700 watt-hour batteries. What is the difference? That was the video. James Robert, MTB, he says, bigger battery all day, more exploring.
I definitely agree there. I think bigger is definitely better. Mark Porter says, I really think 700 watt-hours is fine, but on the lever, it's too big and heavy to carry. It'd be better to have two 500 watt-hours that are much smaller and lighter for a full day out.
Hey, guess what I do on the bowhead? Carry two 500 watt-hours. Yes, I do.
Do you remember on my older the Canyon Spectra, actually, those little 500 watt-hour batteries are pretty good, sticking in your backpack. And again, you've got 1,000 watt-hours of power, so maybe,
Michael at Speed's got a lot to say. He's saying, I just don't understand the huge battery craze. My wife has a Fazari Wire Peak she absolutely loves. We live in Colorado and ride in the Rockies every chance we get. We go on 2 rides before I need to charge a 500 watt-hour battery paired with the Shimano EP8. She uses boost for climbs and trail setting for everything else. Our rides are 10 to 15 miles per outing. Are people wanting to ride 100 miles on an outing every time? Well, I mean, he's right. If you just do short rides, you can do them more often. And
if you are just doing 10, 15 miles, then yeah, I think a 500 watt hour is perfectly adequate. But it's for those riders that want to go out all day, and we all ride in different conditions, different elevation. You know what I mean? Riding in the mud compared to dry trails, or if you're riding up mountains compared to hills or on the tarmac, it makes so much difference. And there's all those different factors. And I think,
what do you prefer, Chris? Big battery if you're going to choose?
Bigger, yeah. I think that new Canyon 900 watt hour of power, pretty good. And you know, for the weight difference, well, it's obviously a lighter bike than last year, so why not, eh?
Right, bike vault time, and our first bike this week is from Juiced, and he's on a Mondrager Crafty. Mondraker Crafty R 2022. Very nice looking bike, actually. Handsome.
Cool looking spot, isn't it? Got that water bottle mounted to the top tube as well, so keeping that hydration on point. What are you thinking? Big day out,
I like it. I like it a lot, but I don't like the red pedal. I would give that a nice.
A nice. Oh,
Yeah.
you got the horn for nothing.
It was a nice.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got a David's High Bike Alm 7. It's one of your favourites, Chris.
It is. Loving the shape of that. It looks pretty stealthy, doesn't it? But I think for me, oh yeah, I've got a water bottle in there as well. I think that's just a nice as well.
Next up, we've got
This bike from Thor. He's out in Sawmill Lake, Lake Tahoe. 2019 Giant Trance SX Custom. Currently averaging about 120 miles per week on his
wacky
e-bike.
colours, Chris.
It is, isn't it? A bit of Kashima gold, a bit of orange, coil shock on there.
Nice.
What's that under the saddle? Can't quite see. Some little
Body.
panda or something, I think it is.
Little panda.
I think that's a nice for me as well.
nice,
Quite a lot of
nice.
silhouetting
lot
going
going
on the bike.
Next up, we have got Paul's Cube Stereo in Bukeki National Park in Romania. Exploring with a friend. It's another nice, Chris.
It's another nice, isn't it?
Getting the photos right this week. Here
Not-
we go. Now we're talking. We've got Matthew Scott Genius Road 920.
And Plimbridge in Devon, just out exploring. What do you think to that?
I
Again,
think that's a nice. It's not quite enough.
nothing quite floating my boat this
No.
week, is there? So
No.
far? Oh, I think it's actually changed here with Magnus. He's got his Orbear Rise M10 out in Kiruna in Sweden. Midnight sunride in the middle of the
No
work
way.
week.
Is that midnight?
Yeah, 11 p.m.
That's
Imagine
amazing.
having trails like that. Super nice. For sure. Next up, we've got Alex here. He's got a high bike full 7 at the viewpoint at the top of Margam. Mark?
Yeah, that is right up by the pulpit. You can literally see my house
Can
from
you?
that photo. You literally
Oh,
can.
wow.
As for the bike,
Okay.
next up we've got this Santa Cruz from Steve. This is nice, Chris.
It is, isn't it? I think this could be another super nice to get that horn ready. He's out on the edge of the Lake District in the Yorkshire Dales. Late evening blast, no one around, ready for the blast back down the hill. Yeah, definitely super nice. And the final bike in this week's Bike Vault is in from Wild. It's got a 2018 Cube Reaction hardtail out of Margam Mountain in South Wales, all round
It's
your
all
way.
happening around my house this week, isn't it?
Can you see your house in this one, Mark, or
Yeah,
not?
get off my estate, you little. I won't finish that sentence. Nice looking bike though. Nice.
It is.
Should we give that a super nice? Because
Give it a super nice. Yeah, of course.
Super nice, super nice. Love seeing the bikes in the bike
Yeah,
vault.
cool,
We
aren't
love
they?
them all, really. We love them all. But send them in, and we will arbitrarily judge them with no real consequence. Put them into the uploader, and we could see you here next week.
But that is it for this week's show as well. Let us know what you think about that new bike from Heritage. Is it the way forward with that gearbox and motor combined? We think it definitely is. Give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to us here on EMBN. And whilst you're there subscribing, check out the merch shop for all the latest new kit.